Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Good morning. Today is going to be on Swadhisthana, second chakra. A couple of weeks ago, we did a class that focused around the second chakra and creativity. Next week, we'll explore the second chakra and the unconscious. And today will be on what I will call the pleasure principle. That term comes from Freudian psychology, and I will say that I think Freud completely understood the dysfunctional components of the second chakra of Swadhisthana. Swadhisthana has to do with sensual pleasures, not just sexual pleasures, but enjoying the physical body and finding a way to balance the natural inclination towards pleasurable experiences and the natural disinclination towards unpleasant experiences. So I'll give a concrete example. If I'm eating some Cherry Garcia ice cream, as I'm eating it, am I 100% enveloped in the enjoyment of that moment? Or is there some part of me that's already scooping the next bite, already thinking about eating more, distressed over how much I should or shouldn't be eating? All of the various conflicts that come up that keep me from being wholly invested in enjoying the current moment. So that's what today's class is about. How do we become totally appreciative of the pleasures that we have as they come up without being distracted by wanting more of it in the future or wanting less of the opposite of it in the future. So let's go ahead and tune in. Actually, we'll take a second before we get there. You can bring your palms together, and let's start by having some focus on the physical body. So notice your body. Shift and adjust so that you'll be able to sit more still, and it's as though all the parts of the body support the other parts of the body. Find that place of balance and harmony in the position of your physical body. Now we'll explore the Pranic Body or the Pranayama Practice. So focusing on the breath. Try and have an expansive experience of the breath. Notice all of the fluctuations throughout your body as you breathe in and out. For those of you who've been practicing for a while, you may even notice the somewhat energetic sensation all throughout your body that's associated with the breath and breathing. Noticing that focusing on the pranic body naturally allows the physical body to relax. And now we'll pay attention to the mental body. So shifting your mental aspect from being trapped in your thoughts or your body to being an observer. Okay, great. Now we'll chant Om Namo Guru Dev Namo 3 times. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Great. Inhale. Work with Mulband. Exhale. All right, let's go ahead and take our hands down to the knees. Just a little bit of spinal flex before we do some breath work. Inhale and expand the front of the body. Exhale and expand the back of the body. If you're like me and this is the first thing that you've done today, you may want to start off nice and slow so you can really get that stretch both directions. So part of having that observational mind is that each time the mind bunny hops away to something else, to what you'll be doing before, or what you were doing before, what you'll be doing after, bring it back. Realize that that jumpy part of your mind is able to be controlled by that observational part of your mind. Great. Inhale. Lengthen through your torso and work with Mulband. And a little bit of twisting side to side. Either put your fingertips up on the tops of your shoulders, or if it gives you a better sense of alignment, you can interlace your fingers just at the base of your skull. And we'll inhale left, exhale right. Put your focus in your spine and visualize each of the vertebrae gliding in relationship to each other as you work your way up the spine. That rotation is greater. Reverse the breath, so inhale right, exhale left. Great. Inhale to center. Exhale. And just a few shoulder shrugs. All right. So we'll do a little bit of breath work, and you want your torso to feel supported and lengthened. So line yourself up so that that's the experience that you have. Good. So we'll start with a breath that's equal on the inhale and the exhale. The Sanskrit word for this is bastrika, bellows. So feel like your breath is being sucked in and pressed out. We're going to keep going just like that, but we're going to go through the left nostril. Close your right, and if you're feeling any congestion at all, go ahead and stick your left hand in your right armpit. Keep going, just the same with Bhastrika, equal in, equal out. We're going to switch the nostrils and the hands in just a moment. Have your last exhale out be a little bit more forceful than the rest of the breath. And exhale. Switcheroo, and then Bhastrika through the right nostril. Great, powerful exhale out. We'll switch again one more time back to the left nostril. And if you can go a little bit faster and still keep the inhale and exhale equal, then do that. We'll do just a few more repetitions, then we'll inhale, maintain the breath in, so hold the breath in, and then we'll work with Mul Bandh, that upward lift of the pelvic floor, and then we'll contain the energy in the prana in the upper part of the body by lifting the chest and dropping the chin. Here we go, deep inhale. Lift up on the pelvic floor diaphragm. Feel like you've also created a sort of physical and energetic diaphragm or closure at the level of where the head and the neck meet. Good, and then exhale. And another round through the right side. And to end, it'll be just like before. Deep inhale, hold the breath in, bring tone to the physical and the energetic body at the base and at the top. And exhale. And now one final round through both nostrils, and we'll end that one on an exhale with all the locks, Mahabandha. And then to end, deep inhale and then exhale forcefully. And engage the muscles of the pelvic floor. Engage the neck. And draw in and up on the diaphragm. Relax. And now one more round just like that. If you're not familiar with the term Mahabandha, you can study up on it from one of the other classes and then repeat this practice. All right, powerful Bhastrika through both nostrils. Inhale. And then exhale to hold. Redirecting energy upwards at the base of the body with Mula Bandha. Redirecting energy from the top of the body with Jalandhara Bandha at the neck and shoulders. And then feeling the merger of those energies by squeezing the diaphragm up and back. When you need to breathe, relax all the locks first, and then let the air come in. All right, feeling good already. Okay, so let's do quite a few practices for the hips and pelvis. So come onto your back to start out. A very basic and pleasant way to start, we'll just do pelvic tilts. So feeling the muscles that go from hip bone to hip bone, right through here, engaging to tuck your tailbone under. Allow those to release as you stick your bottom as firmly as you can into the floor, your tailbone towards the floor. So getting as big a gap in your low back as you can. And then reversing that, feeling the muscles of the abdomen pressing the low back as firmly into the ground as you can. Let's just alternate through that. And try and make this movement as smooth and flowing as you can. You may get some little pops as you give yourself a chiropractic adjustment. Great, come to neutral. Let's bring our legs up into the air. Take your right leg out to the side as far as it will go. If you need to put your hands alongside your body or out to the side for balance, do that, press them down into the ground, and then swivel your legs so that they go the other way. And let's go back and forth. So keep that V of the legs as wide as you can. Make it as wide as you can. All right, great. Inhale, back upright. Bend the legs so that they're in a perfect 90-degree angle at your hips and at your knees. And then you're going to lift your tailbone and bottom up off the ground. Good. And then putting your hands on your thighs, give some resistance. So engaging, should be really, really hard if you're doing it right, and release. We'll do that a few times. Engage, lifting your bottom away from the floor, like curling your tailbone. So exhale, release. So working with the iliacus and psoas and some other abdominal muscles. All right, good. So now hopefully you've got a sense of what that feels like when you're doing the engaging part. We're going to alternate side to side. So start with one hand on one thigh and reach the other one out as long as it will, other side out as long as it will go, stretching as much as you can. And then engage the knee, pulling into the hand, and give yourself some resistance. Great, and then switch. So a lot of times we'll do this on hands and knees in like cat-cow pose. I'm experimenting with doing it in this position because I think you can more specifically isolate the psoas muscle as you're contracting on one side, stretching on the other. A few more. Great, and then relax. Bring your heels in as close to your body as they'll go. And it can be easier if you make your feet wider apart. So what we're shooting for is to be able to hold on to the backs of our heels. If you can't reach there, then that's okay. It doesn't matter that much. So we will curl our hips up off the floor. Roll them back down. Imagine that you're holding something between your knees so that your knees have the desire to squeeze towards each other instead of away. Roll up, roll down. And to instigate this, so right now, when your back is in a little bit of an arch, and to start the movement upwards, you're gonna tuck your tailbone under, and then bring it up, roll down vertebra by vertebra, releasing the base of the spine last. You may be a little more limbered up, so if you can reach towards your heels now and hold the backs of your heels, do that. And then the next time you come up, stay up. Use your hands holding onto your ankles and the strength of your arms. Your arms are like guide wires to lift your chest a bit more. Great, and then roll down. Extend the right leg out straight. Extend the left leg up towards the ceiling, and then drop that leg across your body. This is a great pose for getting rotation in the spine, but we're focusing today more on this outside hip and outside thigh, so it may help to roll your upper body a little bit more towards the floor so that this area gets emphasized. Great, bring your leg back up, lower it down, switch your legs. Roll out of that. So right leg straight. We're going to do a variation of pigeon. So it's going to be like pigeon pose, but we're going to be on our back so that there's less chance of straining anything. So keep your right leg straight and then bring your left leg up and draw the shin towards your body. So we're taking the inside of your lower leg towards the body. The knee goes out to the side. It's almost like you're trying to bring your left foot into your right armpit. By holding on to the bones of the lower leg rather than the ankle or the foot, that helps to protect the knee, because sickling in the ankle can compromise the knee. Whew, good. Okay, other side. Great. Bounce your legs a little bit. And then happy baby pose. So hold on to the outside edge either of your toes or your ankles or your calves. And try and get your knees down into your armpits. If you like, you can rock a little bit, just like a happy baby would do. And then you can build on that rocking movement. Start to take one leg out towards the side, and then the other one. And then take one leg or the other out and hold, breathe. So in this posture and in another couple that we'll do in a moment, you may feel quaking or shivering in your legs and your thigh in particular. And that is a normal thing. Just breathe more deeply and have the idea that that's going to relax and shift. Good. Do the other side. Great. Again, come back in. And this is a posture, Baddha Konasana. A lot of times we'll do a version of this sitting upright. So you've got the soles of your feet together, and you hold on wherever you can to try and support that. So you might reach your hands around underneath and hold on to the shins. Maybe you can reach all the way to your ankles, or maybe you can reach around to the outside of your feet. Wherever you're at, try and draw the feet in towards your body. If you are holding on to your ankles or your feet, you'll find that your upper arms, your elbows are touching the insides of your legs, and you can use those as a lever to bring your feet further in. And again, if this is feeling fairly easy for you, push the pinky toe side of your feet more firmly into each other. Great. Let go with your hands. Bring your knees together. Place your feet on the floor. And for this one, walk your feet in as close to your body as you can. Great. This is an interesting, fun, slow movement, and this is another one where you may find that your thighs quiver or shake. So we're going to take like 20 seconds, count really slow, and slowly bring your knees wider and wider apart. And as you do that, the soles of the feet are going to come together. They'll move away from the floor and come towards each other. So you should be about halfway down now. Great. And then we're going to bring our knees together. And we'll repeat. This time take about 30 seconds to slowly let your legs separate. Soles of the feet coming away from the floor.
as they come towards each other. Good, and then you can use your hands and assist if you want. Bring your legs together one more time. And this third time, see if you can take like 40, 45 seconds to very slowly let your legs separate. Great, and then just go ahead and roll over to your side and push yourself up. We'll do a few things standing up. So make your way up to a standing position. The first one, interlace your fingers and they go on top of your head. And then if it feels better, you could also interlace them and put them at the top back of your head. We'll be standing on the right leg, and then you're going to bring your left knee up your left thigh parallel to the ground, and then your foot lines up with your lower leg. And just hang out here and breathe. Let the placement of your hands allow your shoulders to relax down. And also let the placement of your hands help you to lengthen through your spine and let your spine line up. The hands can give some proprioception so that the best way for your body to line up becomes sort of self-evident. Good, we'll switch. Standing on the left leg, the right thigh comes parallel to the ground, and then bring that foot back into alignment with the other leg. Good, and then bring that down. All right, good old, next one, we will be bending forward at the waist. And you're gonna try and get your back in as big an arch as if you were down in cow pose on your hands and knees. So depending on how your hamstrings are, essentially, you're gonna either have your hands on your thighs, on your shins, or possibly holding on to your toes, but you mainly want to get that arch in your back. So you're looking forward. Regulate your breath, make it slow, long. You may feel your sits bones spreading and lengthening away from each other. Excellent. And then we'll do one more minute with breath of fire. Have your attention be down in the pelvic floor. So feel as though you're releasing tension and you're allowing the entirety of the pelvic floor to stretch and broaden. Great. Inhale. And exhale. Excellent. Now, frog pose. If you're, I'll do a few different variations of frog pose. So you can have your heels together and your feet on the floor and stay like that. Bending down and touching the floor wherever you can. If you can do that and comfortably touch the floor with your legs straight, then you come up onto your toes. But only come up onto your toes if you're able to keep your fingertips on the floor with your legs straight. If you need to be cautious about keeping your head above your heart, then just have your legs out wide, hands on the thighs, and you'll be going from parallel to the floor with your torso to upright. All right, so pick your variation. The breath is a little opposite than what I would expect. This is the inhale position with the head down and the bottom up. And this is the exhale position with the head up and the bottom down. Forceful exhale. Inhale up. Almost done. Great. Inhale. Exhale. Separate your heels. Bend your knees a whole lot and roll your spine up. Good. Let your blood pressure come back to normal and then come down to sitting on your bottom. Give yourself a little break. And we'll do one final asana before relaxation. So holding on to your big toes if you can, ankles if you can't. And first find your balance point, sitting just a little behind the tips of your sits bones. So you can find where your sits bones are with your toes on the ground, and then hinge just a little bit back behind those. And then start to work your legs towards being straight and spread wide apart. And then start a breath of fire. Close your eyes. Have your focus be towards your brow spot with your eyes, and let your tongue press into the roof of your mouth. Great, inhale. We'll work with Mulband. And relax down. And relax onto your back. If you prefer to meditate during this part, do that. We'll have a nice gong relaxation. Okay, time to come up for meditation. Either rock along your spine or roll over to your side. Make your way upright. The practices we're going to do next are all from the tantric tradition, and they're all very specific just for the second chakra. We're going to do a mudra, a visualization, a mantra, a pranayama practice, all specifically for the second chakra. And you don't have to come to your meditative posture just yet. We're going to, Brian's going to put up an image now, and we're going to use this to help us create an internal image, and also sort of like a tattoo on our own body. So to begin with, we'll just familiarize ourselves with the way that the image of Swadhisthana chakra is represented. Always with 6 petals. And so to start out with, you can even take your finger and touch the screen of your computer, or you can do it in the air, but trace those 6 petals of Swadhisthana. The petals are sort of a reddish color, and the inside is yellow, orangish color. Go ahead and trace around each of those lotus petals, all 6. Do that several times. Notice the center of the image typically has a crescent moon along the bottom. You may want to trace that as well. And in the center of this lotus representation is a symbol for the seed sound VAM. So it's a straight up and down line with a sort of hangman's noose across the top, and then that lovely little circular shape off the upright. So go ahead and trace that a few times as well. Good. Now come sitting in your meditative posture. So for well, I'll skip that. Do sit however you can so that you feel secure and upright in your body. Close your eyes. And we'll put one hand at the pubic bone in the front, one hand directly behind that in the sacrum, at the tip of the sacrum in the back of the body. The hands should be directly in front of and in back of each other. We'll do the pranayama practice now. Inhale through the front of the body towards the back. Feel the two spots, your fingertips spreading away from each other as you do so. Exhale, the two spots come towards each other. And the direction of prana is from the back fingers towards the front. Inhale, drawing prana in. Exhale, pressing it out. Drawing in and out. Go ahead and establish a very soft ujjayi breath now. A reminder that ujjayi can be used as a way to restrict the breath and heat the body up, like if you're doing a more physical, vigorous practice. Or it can be used to make the breath, to help us stretch the breath out on the inhale and the exhale. So be aware of your use of ujjayi is increasing your breath capacity and your relaxation with every breath. If it's easy for you, if you're able to see this, otherwise just have the idea in your mind that there is a tiny little tube or straw that goes from the front, excuse me, to the back, from the pubic bone to the base of the sacrum, back and forth as you're breathing. Good. Relax the practice. If it helps you, go ahead and put your hand at the sacrum in the back of your body. And now try and overlay that spot with the visual image that we were tracing a moment ago. The size of your visualization or yantra doesn't matter. See the circle. Perhaps trace that circle in your mind's eye along the sacrum. And now draw the 6 petals, 6 lotus petals. And notice that they're a deep, deep orange, almost a red color in the petals. Make your way around the outside, creating those petals several times. If you no longer need to have your hand on your sacrum, then you don't need to have it there. Keep working with this visualization. I've been doing this with the 6th chakra for a while, and it becomes easy quickly, and it may seem completely elusive at first, and that is fine. All right, now go ahead and be very clear on the center of the lotus. Notice that it's a circle, and yet at the bottom there is a crescent moon carved out. The crescent moon is along the bottom edge. See that distinctly. And then moving to that image of Vam in the center. See the upright line. See the line across the top, and see that little curling circle shape along the upright shaft. Sit with this image for a little bit longer. Do your best. It's as though you are tattooing it onto your pranic body, giving your body a context and a reference point for working with the energies of the body, working with the prana, working with the Kundalini. Holding on to that image, go back to the breath practice, breathing in, feeling the prana move back to the visualization of Swadhisthana chakra, the lotus. Exhale, energy moves out through the pubic bone at the front. Inhale in, exhale out. Great, keep going like this for a little bit longer. So all of the practices that we're doing today are to bring balance, harmony, and activation to Swadhisthana chakra. What I was describing earlier was this conflict we have between wanting pleasure and avoiding displeasure. And that sometimes we get so caught up in that craving and aversion that we stop being able to fully enjoy the pleasure that's there right in this current moment. Total and complete enjoyment of the pleasure that life brings in that moment, without looking to the future for more of it, or to the past for avoiding the opposite of it. Great, and then we'll relax out of that pranayama practice. It's called pranashuddhi, or chakra purification. Swadhisthana is associated with the water element, with fluidity and water, creative, unconscious. So remember that crescent moon that was in our visualization of the chakra. Expand it out so that it's like a hanging hammock, a three-dimensional shape that goes from hip bone to hip bone, hanging down into the pelvic bowl. It may have a sort of shimmering mercurial color to it. Feel the fluid nature, the watery nature of this crescent moon. Next, we're going to chant VAM. V-A-M, VAM. And I'd like you to feel the vibration of that chant coming from the pelvic bowl. It's like the pelvis is full of fluid, and each time that we chant, it's like dropping a pebble into it, and you feel the reverberations throughout the pelvic bowl. Let's inhale to begin. VAM. 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 Great, keep going. Do your best to feel a sense of fluid and vibration down in the entire pelvis, that the chant creates a reverberation and energetic movement throughout that entire area. VAM. 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 Great. Go ahead and pause, inhale, and exhale. Good. We've got a big rainstorm coming from our Vam practice, calling on the water element. If you can switch to sitting in Siddhasana where your heel is in the pelvic floor, go ahead and do that. We're going to add a mudra now. Vajroli Mudra. Take your full attention to your urethra, the the little passageway that goes from your bladder to the outside of your body. Just sit with your attention there for a few breaths. And now we're going to start a gentle contraction of just the urethra, and we're going to do it from the outside of the body towards the inside of the body. So draw in and then release. It can be really a great assistance to the practice to inhale as you draw in, contracting the urethra from the outside of the body towards the inside, and then release from the inside towards the outside. Do your best to keep the rest of the pelvic floor relaxed. Contract and draw in, relax and release out. So we're going to do this for several minutes. And what you'll begin to notice is that the reproductive organs, part of the reproductive organs will move as you do this. The vulva for women, part of the testicles for men. Notice that that happens naturally. You don't need to encourage it or discourage it. Just notice that it happens. Notice if there's any thoughts, emotions, feelings that arise from the fact that the centers of arousal are being activated through doing Vajroli Mudra. In another tantric practice, you take the energy that's acting, keep going. We're going to do a few more repetitions now where we inhale, engage, draw in and up, feel the contraction of the part of the genitals, hold, 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 and then again release slowly from the inside to the outside. And you're going to get the maximum amount of contraction as you draw in without contracting any other part of the pelvic floor. And then release. 2 more times like that. Contract, hold the breath in, contract to the maximum along the urethra without contracting any other part of the pelvic floor. And then when you need to breathe, relax from the inside to the outside. And one final time. Notice sensations that you have in your body while while you're holding that Vajroli Mudra. Now we'll go back to chanting Vam for just a couple more minutes and notice how the contraction of Vajroli Mudra is very effortless as you chant. If you can also have a sense of that visualization of the Swadhisthana lotus, then do that as well. So here we go, we'll inhale. Vam. 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 Just a few more. Vam. Vam. Great. Inhale. Exhale. Sit in a meditative state. Enjoying the activation, the balance, the purification of Swadhisthana chakra. As we come to a place of purification, it becomes clear what our true desires are. And this is great because then once we get to the fifth chakra where we manifest those in the world, we have a very clear guideline about what it is that we truly desire. I hope you can hear the sound of the rain. Notice how you experience the fluid nature of your body. Water and fluid is associated with the unconscious, with the emotions, with their ability to adapt. Feel harmony and balance in all those places and all those aspects of yourself. Wonderful. All right, let's chant 3 Satnams to close out. Let's bow to our ability to find the balance in experiencing pleasure in this life. Satnam, namaste. As you go through the week, anytime that you can incorporate visualizing that image of Swadhisthana, of visualizing it on your energetic body and your tattooed on your sacrum, mentally chanting Vam, the more that you can be aware of that location, that visualization, that mantra, the more it enhances this practice and every part of your life. All right. Thank you so much. See you next week.